Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Crucible Chat. Yes, it's Saturday, it's that time of the week where I get to talk about whatever the fuck it is I want. My name is Mike, otherwise known as the Gadget Addict, and in the background we've got some hardcore footage from Call of Duty. I don't even remember what the games were, and just stitching together a load of other games because I haven't played this week. But, of course, Call of Duty is not what I want to talk to you guys about, because I'm not that kind of channel. No, what I want to talk to you about is YouTube, because I am that kind of channel. And recently, okay, so I'm in a few YouTuber groups on Facebook. I've said this before. I'm in a few of the ones where you kind of like just link spam, it's for the sake of getting Google hits, to be perfectly honest. But there's a couple of ones which are all about, they're not about posting videos, they're more about just talking and just being there as YouTubers. And there are a lot of people coming to the groups with the widest eyes of intentions, who have just started channels and want advice. And it got me to thinking, you know what, let's give some advice here. So I wanted to spell a few YouTube myths today, because I see a lot of people coming into these groups or hopping up on Twitter or on Google Plus with all these idealistic ideas, thinking that YouTube is going to be the most fantastic thing that'll ever happen to them. And to be honest, it probably will be the most fantastic thing that'll ever happen to some people. I know it has been for me. But there are some myths that definitely need dispelling. So I've got 5 of them. I made notes. Can you believe it? I made notes today. Fuck me. It's like I'm getting professional at this. So, first one. You will get rich at doing YouTube. Like fuck will you? Like fuck will you ever get rich doing YouTube? People see all these articles come out about like how much PewDiePie earns or how much the Fine Brothers earn and shit like that from advertising and sponsorships and millions of views. And yeah, those guys do get rich. They, like, if you take the people who have gotten rich off YouTube, it must make up less than 0.001%. YouTube does not pay well. YouTube should not be viewed as a career. YouTube is, well, it's a hobby. You know, you do your best at it, but it is, at the end of the day, a hobby. Very few people will get to make a living out of YouTube. That's not to say it's impossible, but it's very improbable. And it's one of these things, I see a lot of people saying it all the time, say, hey, like my videos, view my videos, I want that YouTube cash. It's like, fuck off. Like, the amount of YouTube cash you will make from a video is pennies, if that. I mean, I upload 5 to 7 videos a week, and I make less than $10 a month sometimes. From 11 to 15,000 views a month. You know, it's that kind of thing. You make a tiny amount until you're hitting every video has 1 million views. Like within the first 24 hours. It's getting rich off YouTube is just so improbable. It shouldn't even be a consideration. To be honest, if you're going into YouTube for the money, you're doing it very, very wrong. There is no point doing that because you're just going to end up disappointed. Simply enough. Second one is, being a YouTuber is easy. It is really fucking not easy. Being a YouTuber is more than just, well, especially as a gamer, is more than just slapping on record on your capture card and playing a bit of gameplay. You've got to be able to talk. You've got to be able to, if you're doing live commentary like I do, you've got to be able to multitask. You've got to be able to play the game well, or to a point, and be able to talk about either what you're doing or what's on your mind or that kind of thing. You know, you've got to work on commentary. If you go back and look at my older commentaries, they're terrible because I didn't know how to do it. It took a long time to work up to that. If you're doing videos like this, you know, you've got to be able to get reasonable gameplay. I never bother with reasonable gameplay. I put up whatever the fuck it is because gameplay really doesn't matter most of the time, or at least to me anyway. But you've got to be able to have a subject, you've got to be able to talk well, you've got to have your technique on the mic. Look at that death, that was just ridiculous. You know, you've got to have mic technique, you've got to be able to be interesting to listen to. You've got to actually have something to say. You know, this shit, I mean, I sat here in front of this microphone for 35 minutes trying to get the thoughts right for this video in my head. And even then I know I'm probably going to fluff up my dialogue at some point. But yes, and on top of that, you know, especially if you work as well, if you're like me and you have a full-time job, or in my case got a wife, got a house, got a cat, you know, I've got responsibilities. I spend a lot of late nights editing. It's, in some cases, when I'm busy, when I'm doing lots of videos at any given point, I can be like having entire weeks where I don't get to bed before midnight, and I'm up at 6 a.m. every morning for work. You know, so I run on like caffeine and nicotine to get me through the days because I'm so exhausted because I put so many hours into YouTube, and without that, you know, if you don't put in the hours, you don't get anywhere. And I am growing. I'm happy with my growth, but if I wasn't putting in the hours, I wouldn't have growth like this. And it's a simple fact is this isn't easy, but it is so rewarding when you get it right. So the third one, being a YouTube gamer is even easier. In fact, being a YouTube gamer is harder than any other kind of YouTuber because there are so many YouTube gamers playing from a rather small pool of games, to be fair. I mean, the big ones, Minecraft, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, rather. Games like that, these really huge popular games, there are so many people doing videos on them. And even if you think, like, I'm going to find some really random, obscure indie game, there's still going to be thousands of people who've done videos before you. People tend not to come for the game specifically unless you're doing a walkthrough. And even then, a walkthrough tends to be quite dry. Like, most of my viewers come from my Bloodborne and Dark Souls walkthroughs, which are on the Fextra Life wikis. And that's how I generate a lot of interest in my videos and my channel. But the vast majority of my viewers, my consistent subscribers, come back from me. It doesn't matter what I'm actually playing. But if I were to be just focusing on a popular game, God forbid if I ever decided to do Minecraft, there would be no point in me putting in the effort for that because there are so many people doing that kind of thing because it is a cheap and accessible game. Same really goes for Call of Duty. That's why I tend not to make such a big thing about Crucible Chat being about Call of Duty, is that I tend not to do commentaries about it because there are so many other people who do it so much better than I do. It seems rather pointless for me to even try that. I don't know, that one might not make sense to you, but believe me, as a YouTube gamer, as opposed to like a vlogger or a musician or a news channel, something like that, you know, there are obviously a lot of those in all ways, shapes and forms, but there are a hell of a lot more gamers. Gaming is one of the most popular things, I think probably after music videos, to watch on YouTube, and the market is just entirely saturated for it, so for your voice to be heard, you kind of need to be a little bit special. Number 4, you'll gain subs quickly. No, you won't. No, you won't. When you start off, you'll get a few pity subs, you'll get, well, I call them pity subs, it'll be your friends and your family subscribing. It's like if you're in a band, your first gigs are always your friends and your family turn up to watch you play. It's that kind of thing. You'll get a few subs, probably people who won't watch. It takes a while to get the ball rolling. I mean, it took me longer to reach 100 subs than it did for me to get from 100 to 1,000. So, I mean, granted, I wasn't taking it as seriously then, but if you put that into perspective, I've been doing this about 2.5 years now, and it took me over a year to hit 100 subs, and then from then on, it kind of, in the next year, I got to, well, just over a year, I got to 1,000, and so on and so forth. It does eventually start to snowball, but you need to stick at it, and you need to be good with it. You have to everyone has to go through that period, that first 100 subs, where it takes forever to get those subscribers. But that then leads me into the last one I have, which is that your sub count matters. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually matter. Your subs don't... Obviously, your subs matter to you, but the count doesn't matter, because what matters is the views. You can have 1 million subscribers, but only be getting 100 views a day. It doesn't make you a successful YouTuber. You can have 10 subs, but have some viral video that goes out there and gets hundreds of thousands of views a day for a long time. You're more successful than the guy with 1 million subs and hardly any views, because that's how YouTube weights it. They weight it on view time and views. So yeah, the more subs you have, the more likely you're likely to appear in people's like recommended views. Yeah, you know, the recommended pane on the side or underneath the video and that kind of thing. Yeah, you're more likely to appear like that, but you're not going to be a successful YouTuber with a high sub count and no viewers. It's why things like Sub for Sub or these websites where you click the button and you get 5 subs and it subs you to 5 other channels, they don't work. There's no point to them, because even if you artificially inflate that number, you need the actual views to be successful at this. Now, I know this has sounded like the last 10 minutes I've been ranting on about YouTube, about how it's so difficult and how it's hard and how it's horrible. At the end of the day, YouTube isn't horrible. It is hard, but it is so rewarding when you get it right. When you release a video and people love it and people watch it, and you know, I see on my Twitter feed people, hey, I like this video, I like this video. It's like, it's such a great feeling. Or you get people, there was a commenter last week on Crucible chat, I can't remember the name, I'm really sorry that I can't remember your name, I don't have my phone with me, but literally the comment says, I fucking love Crucible chat. It's just like, it's moments like that which make this thing so worthwhile, because you put in all this effort and you get so much back from it if you stick at it. I remember in the early days, in that first 100 subs, I didn't get any comments. I mean, in that whole time, up to 100 subs, I've gotten less than 20 likes in total, you know, but when I got past that and people started liking more and people started commenting, because I was getting better and people were noticing it, it became so worthwhile, and the reward that you get for that, the feeling, is just incredible. You know, that time, like I say, you release a video and instantly people love it, or instantly people hate it, but regardless, you get this feedback, you get this dialogue going. Even the haters, I like getting the haters, because it's fun to spar with somebody. You know, someone will come in and say, oh my god, you're so terrible at this game, you should watch somebody else. And it's just like, well, fuck off, I don't care. I do this because I love it. And that is the key thing. If you love it, you're going to enjoy it regardless. The key thing to take away from this one is, if you want to start YouTube, I would recommend you do it, but you have to be prepared to put in the work. You have to be prepared to put in a lot of hard work, and I really do mean a lot of hard work. And it might look like you're not getting any rewards in the early days. It might look like you're being ignored generally. Sometimes it can be a little bit soul crushing to spend like a whole day making a video to get 8 views. But if you persist with it and you make the best content you can make, you will go far, or at least get to the point where it becomes rewarding. It becomes some reward. Don't see YouTube as a way to get rich quick, because you won't. It's as simple as that. But do YouTube, make videos, make friends. I've made so many friends through YouTube. Make friends and just enjoy yourself. That's all I've got to say today. And I know it's a bit of a long Crucible chat, but these things need to be said every so often. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please do leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of this. Do you have any thoughts? Have I missed off some things that really should have been said? And come back next week for more Crucible chat. For now, thank you for watching, and good night.